What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Urban Fitness Friday Focus. Today's Friday Focus is a little bit different. We're trying out a new format. This is going to be hopefully the basis of some future content we're thinking of doing here at Urban Fitness, and we'd love to get your feedback on this format of Friday Focus or this format of content and see is it enjoyable and informative for you guys. This is Friday Focus number 50, and this, as I'm traveling on the road this week, I don't like to miss these, so. I thought this would be a perfect week for me to put something together and try out this format. So let me know what you think. This Friday Focus stems out the back of a conversation I had with a friend last week, and in the discussion he brought up something which I thought was really interesting. And what it was is it forms the basis of this week's Friday Focus. It's about defeating your future self. So when we talk about defeating your future self, you're going to say to yourself, well, what does that mean? So defeating your future self. Basically dependent on the routes you choose to take, the decisions you choose to make. If you look at yourself 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, who you are in a year's time can be completely different individual dependent on the decisions you choose to make and the routes you choose to take between now and then. And that's really mind blowing to think of the impact you can have on your own destiny just off making these simple decisions every day. So your future self, defeating your future self, what does that look like? So that might look like the future you who is on a holiday in 6 months' time, who said they were going to lose X amount of weight, or they were going to try and get fit for this holiday, or they were going to try and get bigger biceps, bigger chest, they're trying to get a six pack abs, whatever it was. But having regret slip in on that holiday, and not so much regret because you didn't reach the goals you said you were going to, but because you chose to make a decision to do something, and you really wanted to do it, but you just didn't execute because mental toughness didn't allow, or your ability to execute discipline on a daily basis didn't allow. And this comes back to, it could be your wedding, it could be in a year's time at Christmas, it could be any time this summer at an event, or something that you set your targets on. Because look, I, like you, have had battles with my inner self as well. And listen, I don't like the word regret, but it does set in when we do choose to try and change something or do something better with ourselves, but we fail to execute and we fail to follow through. Which is then an issue, as I said, of mental toughness and discipline, which I spoke about mental toughness last week. So, your decisions in life. So, as I said, based off decisions that you do make, the individual you choose to be in a year's time can be somebody completely different based off these decisions. Now, the decision can be the first decision you make in the first place, whether that, as I said, to lose weight, whether it's to get fitter, whether it's to hire a coach, whether it's to join the gym. And then that's your big decision. But then, based off of that big decision, you're going to be faced with all these small decisions along the way. And when you do hit these decisions are crossroads. And based off the route you choose to take, and when you get to these crossroads, will determine where you are in that time period down the line, whether it be 3, 6, or 12 months. So when you do hit these little decisions on a daily basis, you do need to remember you are at a crossroads, and it's just your ability to uh, to use mental toughness and then to instill discipline on a daily basis that will determine the route that you take. And this, I really like this definition of discipline. And discipline is something that you should try and use on a daily basis and have in your life all the time. And when people talk about discipline, they think about it as in a real, hardcore military fashion. Of if I live a disciplined lifetime or lifestyle, I'm not going to be able to enjoy life and blah 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 blah. But like, discipline simply is remember what you want. So whether that's if you're trying to lose weight, remember that that's what you want to do, and that when you are faced with a daily crossroad decision, that you do choose to take the right route and implement discipline on a daily basis with these decisions. Again, if I look at my own case, it's, at the moment I'm trying to achieve the next level belt in jiu-jitsu, and I exercise discipline on a daily and weekly basis with jiu-jitsu. It's like making sure that I get enough practice in, and I know that if I get to the end of this year and I haven't achieved what I want to achieve in certain things, one of them being jiu-jitsu, if I take a good hard look back at the year, and I can say to myself, I didn't really give it my all, or I didn't exercise discipline enough, a small element of regret will slip in. Now, as I said, I don't like to talk about regret. I don't like people to have regret much, but when we do talk about small decisions like this, when you are on a holiday, or you are on the altar on your wedding day, and you said you were going to try and, lose a bit of weight or try and bulk up, whatever your goal is, and you stand there, and you're on the most amazing holiday, supposed to be having the best time of your life, and you're spending time thinking about that you didn't really give it your all, or that you chose to try and do something and you didn't really follow through, and that regret is not a nice feeling. And that regret can be applied to big decisions, but also small decisions on a daily basis. And this, I mean, this is something that I use to try and reinforce this with people at the gym. And it's like one of the best. This is like obviously on a smaller scale, but when we apply this, this small little bit of regret to even the likes of nutrition, and what you say is like nothing tastes as good as being strong, lean, and athletic fields. And that can boil down to if you just break away from your nutritional plan for a night, and as I said last week, you just smash, a load of pizza, nachos, and ice cream, and then that feeling of regret after, it's not a nice feeling. That's it on a really small scale. But then when we do choose to make these decisions to change for the better, and when we look at ourselves, our future self, so defeating our future self in 3 months, 6 months time, your future self is the you that didn't choose to follow through on all of the decisions they said they were going to make, or all the changes they were going to make, and it's about defeating that person. Um, so that's us signing off for this week, guys. Let us know what you thought of this format of Friday Focus, and as usual, keep your questions coming in, and we will see you next week.